All right. Welcome to Coffee with Cross. Yeah, Saturday. It's me and Brian. Brian Foster. I'm Chris Cross. This is Brian Foster. I'm going to be teaching him some more Unity today. All right. You ready, dude?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Unity 5, you missed last week. So Unity 5 came out, and I thought I would deal with the trials and tribulations of upgrading my Unity last week, and it ended up being kind of a pain in the ass, and I ended up making a dumpster for Dumpster Baby, right, in Cheetah 3D, and doing just sort of some talk around of the other stuff. I got a little frustrated, and I wanted to go a little bit faster. Which is the cause for frustration, right? But we're gonna fix all my issues today, all of them.
This is gonna be quite an episode.
Yes. So okay, here we go. So you can see down here, I've got a compile issue, right? I went to the asset store to upgrade my plug-in for UScript, right? What actually happened was I loaded this and it runs fine without upgrading, right? And here this said update. I downloaded it, I imported it, but I had compile issues, which means I probably imported it wrong. So just to sort of recap how I should have done it, is actually come over here. I'm going to reveal the nodes, sorry, not the nodes, the UScripts that I made, right? Which is this folder here. See it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. And UScript copy is fine, but I'm going to do something safer. So we'll just call this 3 doors, right, for now. And move this up a level so that this folder can be wiped out into confetti. So I'm going to delete all of this stuff and start from scratch. All right? Sorry. So because I want to start with a clean slate. Sometimes things come in with the same name or don't come in and don't have the right name, and they won't. The files won't sync up. So this is the safest way to re-import stuff into your project. Right?
Okay.
If this doesn't work, we're going to try one other thing to verify. I'll back up one more step. Let's see. Make sure that everything... See how there's this new tag over here?
Yeah.
It says that file doesn't exist in my project. Right? So, basically, if, like, for instance, if this new tag wasn't here, it would say, oh, you already have dark skin icon mini search PNG in this location with this name, right?
Right.
But I want all of them marked. I want the whole thing to come in. Let's import this.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far so good. I might have to... there may be one other problem in here, but before I go there, and this doesn't... If this doesn't work, then I will... Error importing folder... UScript editor. I am going to... No, that's a great new looking UScript screen. Thank you. Alright, so let's put a couple nodes in here actually. What I need to do, see now this UScript file has nothing in the project. User types. Blah, blah, blah. So when you see, I'm going to bring the console, make it its own window for a second. Okay. When you see this many errors,
Yeah.
okay, so, something's wrong. And what's ended up happening is that it's probably cascading, right? So it says that the path name assets UScript are already mapped to this, which is like a second somewhere in memory, right? So what I need to do is let's clear that. I'm going to drop this back. So basically my last version is kind of messing with my new version, and so it's preventing the import and the compile. So what I'm gonna do first, let's see here. This should have gone. When in doubt, if you see a README file, you should open it up, right? Blah, blah. Oh, this is the same bullshit you always get. Here's where our website is. Here's where our other website is.
Yeah, just a general README.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and import this one more time, and let's see how many. Interesting. Okay, it says there's nothing to import, which means that it says that all of these things are there. I might have to restart the project. Let's restart Unity.
Maybe the load.
Yeah, it's possible. So let's see here. Oh, Josh is watching from his phone. Yes.
Nice.
And I'm watching on my iPad.
Nice.
I watch myself, the epitome of narcissism. Hey, what's that?
These are fancy with all your technology.
Technology. No beer and no TV makes Homer something.
Go crazy.
Go crazy? Don't mind if I do. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Okay. Let's go back down to UScript. Hit import. Okay, it doesn't want to see that stuff. I don't want to hear that, B. I got him, man.
I'm not trying to hear that, see?
I got him, man.
What? How long you had that problem? That was a great song.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Hold on. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm getting absolutely destroyed in Diablo. I don't
Oh,
what I'm
really?
doing wrong. Any better armor or something?
What's my console look like? Oh, it's actually looking pretty clear. So a restart may have fixed me.
Nice. When in doubt, restart.
Well, I had to do a clean import and then restart after the import, right? Because basically, when Unity starts, it looks at all of your plugins, and that's why it was giving me that memory address mismatch, is because it had already started and shoved a bunch of stuff into memory in one place, and it went looking for where to replace that stuff. A recompile would have probably worked, but I think a full restart did it. The other way to do this, and I'll show you this. I'm not going to restart the project. Is the other way that you should do this, and in fact, the cleaner, more safe way to do this is actually start an empty project. Right? Anytime you're importing a new something, is open up an empty project and just import it by itself, right? To verify that it compiles correctly.
It's not going to try to link up with anything.
It's not going to try and link up with anything. It's not going to. It's also not going to nuke and pave your existing work, right?
Yeah,
so,
that would suck.
And if you haven't done stuff like I've done that before, where I say, "Oh, it's the new version of this," and I've brought it in, and I went, "Oh, I forgot I edited that script," right? And so since it has the same name and I didn't save it out, it'll wipe it.
It'll overwrite it?
Yeah. So you have to be pretty careful when you're importing assets that you need to whatever, like, in a case like this where you've been going for a while and you need to do an update on an asset. Okay, so looking at my comments, let's go to let's play the game. The first way to know where we are. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I need to recompile my UScripts.
You just save it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to hit rebuild all graphs. So remember, I moved all my graphs out of that folder, and I just moved them back in. So there's no generated code, right? So I need to double check that works. The other thing I need to do is I'm looking at, if you look at the left side of my screen, you can kind of see it in the background that you can see the hierarchy pane is back there. There's a what doesn't belong here question right now, and I'm looking at it. And there's two UScript game objects. right?
Game interject and
The U script, and then there's another U script at the bottom. So
Yeah.
what I need to do is figure out which one is the active one,
uh-huh.
right? And make sure that I'm not doubling up here. Okay. I think, okay, see how this isn't defined? Let's see, what's this one? Okay, see how this one has errors?
Yeah.
This is the old one. Into confetti. It's deleted.
That was an easy way to figure that out.
Deleted. Yeah, you just have to be careful because, like, if had I not known that, I might have looked over and started editing one and not the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if that works. Okay, the doors will show up if it worked. Okay. Yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, maybe so. Okay, let's go now double check our door set is inactive because that's where we're at. However, I'm going to turn this back on for a second. We're going to look at our prefabs. There we go. See how they're missing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we need to...
You import those then?
Yeah, I need to pull them back in. So it's, what was this? It should be called door script, right? Door component is what I want. All right, and it'll come in with my defaults. So that's also the other thing that you kind of need to do is, like, even though my defaults are getting overwritten in the editor, if in a case like this, you want your defaults to be kind of right. So it makes it worth your time to come back in and fix it in your code so that in a case like this, you can not have to repeat some work. I might have to actually do that, but we'll play it, right? Because we know how it's supposed to play. And yep, hold on, we'll do this again.
There it is.
And there, the door showed up. Okay, let's save this. My camera's probably oh, no, save quick, save debug, save release. Check that out.
Those are new, huh?
Yes. So somewhere in here, it doesn't like one of these compiles. See how it went to a red?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it says this script does not attach to any scene. We used to have it attached to this scene, right?
Right.
I will
Did we take it off?
No, well, because I moved it out and basically, here, watch this action. Copy all of this. Then what we're gonna do is open this one, right? We can reattach. There's a, let me see here. I think there is a way to do scene, like basically assign it to this scene, right? Which I thought was this.
Yeah.
However, let's do a couple more things. Oh, actually, let's do this. I'll put this all back in. We're going to save graph as, right? Twitch doors test, and I'll just call it 01 for now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'll call it U5 because that's our Unity 5 upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I'll do this 01, and we'll hit it with this tag. No, we're not going to hit it with a tag. Sorry, U5. Okay, we'll save it. Assign a master graph. Yes. Okay. Now let's go find this one. Locate the graph. See how it turned yellow over here on this window?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to delete that one. Deleted. Generated code. Okay, we'll look in generated code, right? Because that's the stuff that gets made off of all of these. So we're going to get rid of these two. If you don't do this, then your scene will run with those scripts still, right? Even if you've deleted it here, right? So the way that works is like this is the U script that we're looking at in here, right?
Right.
When you compile, it creates those generated scripts in this folder, right? Generated code. And that's actually what I'm assigning to things. So when it's a door component and I attach it to the door, I'm actually assigning this C# script, not the U script piece, right? So had I I had to find this out the hard way, where I thought I ditched the UScript node, or like this graph, right? And I was like, why is it still doing the same stuff, right? So basically, I was like, oh, generated code. I have to go in here, ditch the generated code, and then rebuild it all without that UScript. So we're going to come back up here. Everything's yellow, which means I've built it in debug. Save it again. Okay, I think we're good to go.
Dope.
Almost. So we've got...
There's coins.
Yep, coins. Now, what's not happening, so we've taken a step back by like 3 or 4 weeks, right? So the doors aren't moving, the score is not going up, tokens are not going up, etc., right?
Huh.
I'm going to turn off...
Is this all due to the update of Unity?
Yeah, see, because since partially it's actually more about what I did to fix it, right? Which was basically wipe everything out and then bring it back in. So to get the project running, I sort of, oh, hey, you know what? These doors actually are not the doors we're looking for.
These are not the Jedi you're looking for.
That's right. These are not the doors you're looking for. Because, actually, those are the ones that I have in the scene. Oh, I almost screwed us up. So those are the ones that are in the scene. What I need to do, actually, is this. Apply this back to the prefabs. Okay, we're going to do this one again. Okay, turn this back off. What's our score module doing? Okay, our score module is not assigned, and I think that's going to be, okay, I'm looking for anything that has component in the name, right? Scoring component, okay, hook that back up. Did the World Center have any, like I'm basically just going through, taking inventory on the whole scene to make sure that all of my crap is working right. Okay, that's close. Now, we'll go back to my doors test use script. Okay, compiled okay. I'm going to double check a bunch of these. Target. Yep, okay. Okay, now let's go to this use script. I should have some exposed variables. Make sure, there we go. I don't have my door prefab name. Let's go look at that. Yep. Oh, it's make public now. Okay. World Center. Spawn door set. Okay, let's go look at our use script. See, so all these variables got unhooked, right? Because I just reassigned it again. World Center. Let's go pick this up. Scene. World Center. See, mouse entered door. I have to look at the mouse entered door. Oh, okay. This is actually not used anymore because we are. Let me just make sure. We're not doing that right now. I'm going to delete this. We're going to find the other instance of this. We're going to delete this as well. Because remember that was, so mouse entered door was left over from when we were switching colors. All right? Okay. Now, let's see. Let's go into the door script. All right. Now I'm going to come back up here. And we're going to look at door 1, door clicked, mouse, score delay. My defaults are good to go. Right? Okay. All right. Let's go back to this one. We'll double check. Bear with me. We're almost there.
No.
Resources. So there's our door set, right? We're going to call it that. we have to tell it. So this one's blank. Well, that's what was telling us what to spawn, right? In the world, which is why we weren't getting any doors. Right? Okay. I think we should be good to go. Let's try this again. There we go. Our doors showed up.
We're closer now too.
Yep. Only thing is,
Oh, they are.
yeah, it spawned twice. So watch this hierarchy screen
Yeah.
set over here. See, it spawned two.
Yeah.
All right, so somewhere in there, I've got a
So
double.
it's doubled up right now.
Yes.
Like two separate doors on top of each other.
Yes. So what I need to do, right? So it's doubled up. I need to look at how I'm spawning, those doors. Is this off? Okay. Let's go find that. That should be in our Twitch door test, right? Door prefab. That's what it's called. Spawn prefab at World Center. And I've got it on graph enable. I don't know why it's firing twice.
Are there two of these things? Are there two? A copy of the scripts, would that double things up?
Hey,
Or something?
look at you, Chief. Because I pasted in from...
There's issues that happen like that when, like in After Effects. Like I know I
Yeah.
brought that up in video, but it's the same exact thing. Like you just have another composition that got duplicated, and
Right.
things just get.
And in fact,
What the hell is wrong with that thing?
well, actually, yeah, exactly. Well, if we run the tape back, you'll see that I actually created that problem by pasting the graph in because I thought it was empty, and I was rushing a little bit. Okay, we're close. Door. Score is incrementing. Token's not incrementing. That's fine because that's about where we left it last time. So
Yeah, we didn't get the token, but this. Wow, you brought us back to our level within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sure.
well, we're this can be frustrating, and I gotta say there's a reason that I was able to do it so fast today, and that's because I know I have people watching, right? When you're doing this by yourself, it can get like hairy, and if you're not paying attention to like all of the details, then it can become one of those things where you're like, oh, this is killing me. It's frustrating, right? And so, even like it may have taken me an extra 5 minutes if you hadn't said, do you have two graphs in there? Right? And so like just having other people watching or being able to have a fresh set of eyes can help, right?
And would you say that developing and programming is a collaborative process?
Absolutely, but I mean, there are definitely things that you can do alone. But
Right.
I particularly like to thrive when I'm working with other people because
Everyone's got a cool idea, right? Or
Yeah.
everyone can.
exactly.
More eyes are better than two.
Well, and it's hard when you're first starting out. You're the most brilliant person in the world, right? And
Right.
there will be no feedback because you want one effect. You play my shit, you love it, right? And that's just having that sort of point of view or attitude can really wipe out good feedback, right? If you're not paying
that's
attention.
like for any sort of art. To tell you
Yes.
the truth.
Exactly. And if you're not open to actually listening to somebody first, even if you end up rejecting it, right? You have to at least listen to it and reconfigure in your brain what that feedback does to your...
Digest somebody else's point of view on something. Digest
Yes.
another perspective.
Right.
So
Okay.
important.
So here is our scoring graph. Let's get back into this. So
Jesus, all this just for scoring.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a little bit of like because I want to output to strings. That's what a lot of this is, right? And you have to have a string to output to these labels. You can't just print numbers, right? So there's some conversions going on here. So integer to string. We're doing the math right here. This is making sure that a couple weeks ago, you remember it was like the tokens were going up no matter what. It's because I wasn't comparing my strings, right? I was getting a signal that said it was this signal, and then I wasn't saying, okay, well, which one? So now we have a setup here that's waiting for these signals. And what I was trying to do when I ran into some issues last time was this will be on the door script. When I was on the door, I was doing this up here. Okay, compiled already. Okay, I was doing this, which was sending got Satan, got nothing, got coin as a message from basically when this got fired, right? So when access list gets called, we're gonna do this thing, right? So I was doing this, and last time, basically what I was doing is I was overloading shit, I went up too fast, sorry. I was overloading the message handling system, right? Because basically it's sending four messages every time, right? So they were getting lost somewhere. So it wasn't working at all. But now I'll hook this up, and we're going to see if the new version helps me with that, or if it doesn't. And if that doesn't work, this was a sloppy way to do it anyway. I've got another route to do it. But I am curious to see if this works. So let's save this. Okay. So let me talk you through this, because I think I did this. I'm looking at it again, and the way I'm doing this is I'm getting, when this list, right, pulls a random string from one of these three choices at random, right? It, see the little down arrow triangle? It outputs it to here. When this thing is output, it's the same variable as this one, right? I am just checking what that string is. If it's this, if it's this, if it's this. Right? Because that's what's in the list. One coin, nothing, or unreward. Right?
Right.
This one's, if it's unreward. Right? So if this node picks unreward, send this message.
Yeah.
And in fact, they're not correct.
Got nothing is
in the wrong place. Okay. We would have found that eventually, but it requires that it works.
Nothing is. I thought nothing was got nothing, and nothing, and unreward would be Satan.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. And that's what I get for being clever with my names. Right?
Right, but I mean, got nothing makes sense for this.
Unreward is the one that got me fooled. Okay. Save this graphic.
Unreward is raw.
Yeah. Oh, Joshua Chu. Yeah. He says, yeah, it's easy to get stuck without good feedback. And it's true. You get caught up in your own mental sort of whirlpool, right?
Yeah.
And especially even if you're stuck and you keep looking at a problem the same way. So sometimes it needs to. So we got a token. Well, those doors are moving fast. Okay, tokens aren't deleting.
Can we do that right now? Can we fix the... Wow, the guys aren't going away, huh?
Well, nothing's going away. See, the tokens are still there?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to fix?
Well, I think slow down the doors.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's turn my door prefab back on and go look at this script.
Because that should just be a velocity thing, right?
Yeah. So let's go to the door script. Oh wait, this is the door script. Okay, hold on. Set scale, spawn prefab, attach to game object, send signal, get children by name, rotate. Set scale, delete, destroy. We should be animating in here. Let me see here. Compare the game objects. If I was hit by the mouse, rotate. Get the rewards, delay, send signal. I am sending a signal there too. Attach the game object. Oh, okay. I'm actually moving the doors in the main script. So let's look for that signal, which was door clicked, move to location, end location here, transition time is 0.25.
We'll put a full second in there, right?
Float. Yeah, we want it to be something more like, we don't want a full second. I'll show you that. Let's see, door, let's call this door speed value. We'll call it 1 second. I'll make it that. We'll do that. Let me save this out. So now we can go tune the speed without having to come back and compile a graph it again, right? So just a refresher, what I did was I gave this a name so I can use this variable in other places. I told it to be public, which means that I can access it from Unity, right? Now I can go to, oh wait, let's turn this back on. Don't want to accidentally fuck that up. I can go to my main use script, find door speed, right? So now when I play it, I can do this, right? So it's a little slow.
Yeah, I mean, but it definitely, your eye can register it as
yeah. So well, let's do this.
It's almost like we want to go. I know I might be ahead of it again, but whatever door opens, we almost want that position to change based on which door that is, so we go through, right?
Yes, because you want to eventually go through that door. Or we could do the, like, and this is part of why I think, we're sort of, it needs to move fast enough so that we can see what's behind the door. And we want to eventually move it to a position where you're actually going through the door, right? To the next set of doors.
Yeah, it's almost like, click, reward, move.
Right.
You know, like...
It's starting
to look really cool. Especially with that giant Satan.
Right. We'll fix that in a bit. So one of the things is, actually I kind of like this, 3.5. I mean, we want this game to feel fastish at some point, right?
Totally, yeah. I think half a second works great.
But I also need to tune how long. What I should do is actually use this variable in a few other places that I have delays. So let's look for blue nodes. I wonder, now that it says make public instead of exposed to Unity, if I can use this in another script. That would be kind of helpful. Okay. Looking for score delay. I'm going to try this just for the sake of door speed. Right, we're going to make this. So score delay is controlling when to send the door clicked signal, because what we're doing is rotating a certain, at this speed, we're rotating 70 degrees in 0.15 seconds, right? So that's that whoop. And then
that's right, opening.
Yeah, that's the opening, and then basically I added a delay here, which says send this signal after this much time, which is going to attach the game object to those. Actually, I'm not going to do this. I think this might be disastrous. We're going to delete this.
You could fall down the rabbit hole. That's for damn sure, right?
Yeah, it's. I think I was going to get tricky there.
What I like about the node-based stuff, though, is you see it here. It's all here, as opposed to having to go through layers.
Yeah.
If you had to like drill that, like how Photoshop, After Effects, layer-based stuff, it's. I'm almost interested in checking out like Nuke or something that's node-based.
Right. Well, and I was just meeting with some people who were showing me Houdini.
Yeah.
Houdini's pretty neat. I think
is that a game?
It's actually an effects package. I think I might do a Houdini episode in a few months. Like I need to get up to speed with it, because what it does it really, really well right now is procedurally generated assets at high quality.
Yes.
And
that's so huge now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and it was really cool because they put a spaceship up for me and showed me how many different variations they had by basically moving some sliders. I mean, it literally looked like an F-18, and then it looked like a spaceship, and then it had like the wings up and down. Like it was like
so it could morph in real time too if you wanted to like set a.
It was pretty amazing. Well, right now it's not real time yet, but it's like parametric object creation, you know?
Yeah.
So basically you could take the same sort of like parts and then have them all, you know, adjusted by variables, and then you could do like random sets of variables and output like 10,000 planes. Hold on, I'm gonna get some
That
coffee.
sounds like something for my game that I had mentioned to you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, have you been looking at, have you been following No Man's Sky? Oh, where'd you go? Did you go back to Diablo? Did I lose you? It just got boring. Okay. Have you been paying attention to No Man's Sky?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That's like one of the main reasons I bought a PS4 was because of that demo.
Oh, really? Yeah, I kind of can't wait.
You know, I think PS4 they definitely nailed games. They
Yeah.
really like focused on games and made it a really hardcore system, and it's very close to a PC from what I've seen, at least graphics wise.
Yeah.
But No Man's Sky, when they did that whole like 15-minute run through, and it was literally the guy taking off from the base,
Yeah.
to the planets, getting out, getting back. I mean, that is insane.
It's pretty sweet, right?
I'm just hoping it doesn't get boring. You know, like it doesn't seem like it has. Like your goal is to get to the center of the galaxy.
Is that the actual goal?
Yeah, I read something. It's you know, spiral galaxy.
Right.
So it's similar to our galaxy, and then the very center there's an energy coming from it, but you don't know what it is. But in order to get there, you need to mine resources around.
Okay.
You know, the different rims of the galaxy. So you keep moving in, and you can go anywhere.
Right,
You know,
right.
10,000 variations of planets or something like that.
Yep.
And you can do all of them if you want, or you can just kind of take a linear path to the middle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too.
I hope there's combat.
I'm sure there will be. I thought I saw one where they had like a pistol, but maybe I was
There's
fantasizing.
probably first-person combat with some of the creatures on the planet, or
Yeah.
and then hopefully dogfights. But I think Chris Roberts has the dogfights.
He has it cornered, but
Space dogfights. At least.
yeah. Only thing is, you know, his games have always had a certain feel. So I'm like, if this, like, even if this has like a separate feel, it might be compelling. You know, in the dogfight arena.
I was a big fan of Privateer.
Oh, dude, Privateer was awesome.
Privateer gave you options. You didn't just have to be a pirate. You could be kind of like in this like middle range of just a ruthless badass, you know. But it was really awesome. I'm excited about Star Citizen.
Hold on, sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, I am too. I'm super excited about that. Okay, for now, what I am going to do is I am going to take all of this. Okay, notice that I got token amount as 2. We're going to do... this one's got Satan. Okay. If it's the same as this, we're going to actually put a negative in here. We're token. We're going to call it. We have to call it something else. Actually, it could just be even right now.
So Houdini, if you wanted to create for India, is $99.
Yes, I think it should. They should do it. I think there's an educator license though, which is free. I don't know. I have to see because I don't think. Whatever. I don't know. It's not. That's a non-trivial amount, right? Like it's enough to make you sort of go like,
Yeah, right. It's
Right.
a thought.
How much
Yeah.
worth am I going to get out of this, right? But I think when I get there, basically I'll do my review on it, and we'll go through it and see how that works, right?
Yeah.
Token text, pad this string. So we're doing
I just spent a bunch of money on a new computer.
Oh, did you? What'd you get?
Yeah. I got a 27-inch iMac.
Oh, wow.
Not the Retina. The Retina is 2500 out the
Right.
just with nothing.
Yep.
But This is nice. 27 inches. I got 16 gigs of RAM in it. It's great for video processing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
16 gigs of RAM?
Yeah, I kind of want it. It could go up to 32. I kind of wanted to do the 32 right off the bat, but at this point in the game, I'd be killing a mosquito with a sledgehammer.
Right. Well, in about 2 months, you'll need that other 16. So
I think 3 months. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, what I just did is I just made it so that if you get Satan, it will decrement from your token score. Okay, there was
it
nothing.
wipes to 0, right?
There's 2. There we go. It decremented 2. Okay. Now I have a positive feedback, negative feedback. All I did was I copied and pasted these nodes from how I was adding tokens and then changing the text, right? Yeah. And I came to here and I said, okay, well, if I don't change this variable, Satan will also add score, right? And this is called token amount. So I changed this variable to penalty amount, right? And actually, let's go to our score module so that we can tune that. Right.
Does it just take off 2? It's
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it just minuses 2, right? Score amount is 1. So every time you pass a door, your score goes up, right? This is how you'll know how far you went. Oh, look at that. UI score text is it's working, even though I've got it undefined. I need to look at this, and maybe I have it defined in here. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I do, because I used this instance. Okay, I could probably... I got lucky. Son of a gun.
Because you put it in there?
Yeah, because it preserved what game object we were going for, and I didn't change that game object at all. So it's fine. In fact, I can actually make this private.
But by that, by that rationale, can't you just take those out and then connect them through the other side, or do you want to leave them in here so you have them legitimately in the script?
I want to leave them in here so I can have them legitimately in the script, and then since it's actually correct, because this property that I pulled is looking for this object, right? So there's no way for me to have it undefined.
It's After Effects. It's the best sound in the world.
Is that the finished
render?
Finished render?
Yeah. Adobe really kicks ass.
Let's see here. They do. I think they're trying to still kind of figure out some of their shit, but... Well, look at that, dude. We have a game.
We have a fucking game, dude.
Yeah. All right, so... There's one thing I want to do, though, is we're going to...
So exciting.
Score module. We're going to expose one more variable. I'm going to call this score, right? Score is made public. Okay, it should be public at all times. Actually... Not yet. I want tokens actually to be public, and we're going to have a starting score. We'll call this 10 for now. There's another way to do this to ensure that this is... So
you have a little pool of tokens.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to call this total tokens. In fact, with my total, let's save this.
So can you explain what save quick and save graph and...
Yeah, so save quick basically just does like a fast compile. When you go into save release, it'll start it'll clean up your code to not have so many either redundancies. I mean, it's like the same as doing like a quick render or like a final quality render. The difference being that you may see some speed benefits from it. So you definitely want to compile release before you sort of do like
Test it?
Yeah, well, before you test it on a device or before you submit it to a store, right? You don't want to send it out with a debug
Now, after you do that, when it finds duplicates, I mean, does it clean them out, or do you have to does it let you know, and then you got to kind of go in there and debug?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything with duplicates necessarily. It will do things like it will do some of that, but it's a more aggressive compile as far as looking for duplicates in white space and shit like that, right?
Sure.
The white space actually really doesn't matter, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, that should have been nothing, but I got 1 score. Tokens. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I started with 10 tokens.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, hold on. Let's start it again, because I didn't even...
You got a fucking game here, man.
Okay, so it didn't update. Notice that my first score is 000, and then when I hit it, it'll say 12. Okay, that's because my first label, where I started out...
Is on the door click?
Is actually... yes, but it's... hold on, let's go find that label. So, score module... Canvas, remember that's a UI thing, right? Tokens, let's look at the tokens. Token number started at 10. Right.
So that brings us back to before everything starts. That's
Yes.
the beginning of Canvas renders. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
But what I can do, actually, instead of doing it the way I did it, that's sort of prone to error. I won't be able, like, if I wanted to go find that again, I would have to do what I did right now, which is know exactly where that number is in my hierarchy. We could go into UScript and set a starting tokens variable, right? And basically when the graph starts, set the tokens to be at 10, and then we could tune this by just changing the number on my score module, right? And in fact, let's go look at...
Now, further down the line, a person's account would have the same amount of tokens at all times, right? If once they load up the game, they would have the last amount of tokens that they ended with, right? Or is this...
So, okay, no, let's clarify the rules. So, your score is how far you went. Your tokens is your, like, economical resources, your gold, right?
Maybe we should just call score door. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry.
Well. So the thing is I'm going to give you the ability to spend your tokens, right? And so what we could do is instead call tokens health, because when you get to 0 tokens, game over. Yeah, exactly. So what we can.
I like that it's health. I think it makes it more personal.
You think so? Okay.
I think so. I've been playing a lot of Diablo, so maybe I'm not the right person yet. But
see, nothing.
When you get healthy again, can we do the little potion that gurgling?
Oh, sure. Did I just get lucky with? Okay, so we broke in here somewhere. I need to. Okay, tokens total. Yeah, okay, so I changed the name of this, but it didn't change across all of my public variables. I am going to, I saw, because the way I figured that out was I looked at my score module. You can see that I have 2 variables here, and they're not right. That boy's not right. Okay, that's possibly... Sometimes I've noticed that happens with a lot of copy and pasting, that they'll lose some of their relationships to each other, even though it works when you compile it.
Yeah.
But that
I'm sorry. I'm just confused. Why? What was the problem that popped up?
So only the first token through scored. So we started at 10 and went to 12, and I kept getting other tokens, and then basically I wasn't getting credited. Right, because basically it wasn't changing the token, the score to the right thing. There we go. Okay, so now we're not quite. We're still a long ways from Damascus. We're in good shape, but hey, do you like this without the plane? Like there's.
You know what, man? I think if there was something like right now, I look at this background as just a blank mat that we can mess with.
Yep.
And this thing can be like ever changing, but it can just be something simple like a video, looping video or something that can be like shifting between videos, right?
Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna do you one better because I've already got a plan for that.
Great.
So let's.
I'm glad because it's time to start doing like the little touch-ups, right?
Yeah, it's time to start doing some polish. I'm not quite ready for sound yet because sound would really sell this, right? Sound is 51% of the experience. But I'm not quite ready for that because they just added some new sound features, and I kind of want to fiddle with it. Or actually, we could fiddle with it on camera, but we should dedicate the whole time to sound, right?
Totally. Man.
So, but since I've already got this kind of cooked up,
visual polish, right?
yeah, we can do
a
little bit of visual polish. So one thing that's nice about not having the ground is Satan can make sense as a huge entity like he is, right? Like the way I've got him right now. I kind of like that. But the one thing I do like about having the ground plane is that it gives you the feeling that there's a destination in the distance, right?
Yes.
But you're right. We can't make that distinction or that judgment call until we start to fill in the background. So now it's time to start chipping away at the visuals, and then we can decide on the ground plane later, right?
What do you think the ground plane would be? Like cement, like dark concrete?
I don't know. I was actually
like going into the distance.
I was going to go with something kind of ethereal, like it's just an energy thing, or maybe it's cement, or maybe it's crumbling rocks.
Road,
yeah, right. But that brings up the other issue, which is I'll have to figure out some way to animate the road as well with the doors, which is fine. It's just one of those things that, like, how lazy am I, and does that add to the effect that I'm in hell?
Do the old Nintendo and old arcade way. They just kind of had little objects moving to give it that impression, you know? Road never actually moved.
One sec. I am going to, since I'm thinking about it and we're talking, I am going to set up a starting. Let's see. So, through the string, we're going to call this variable integer. And then I'll start talking through. So I went and starting tokens. Actually, let's do it this way. Tokens, starting, make public, make this 10. Let's go back and undo this so that I can verify that I've made my change. Right? Whoops, no enter. Okay. So I've got some pretty crazy psychedelic sort of stuff ready to go for this. So like I want this to feel like it seems really simple, but I do want it to be visually impressive without going overboard, right? And one of the nice
simple, and it should be visually.
Yes, right. It should be like, wow, that we can cover this. Like, I want to do a polish episode where we just go through and just polish everything, right? When we're headed for ship. But this one is like, I don't think the look is quite right yet. And I've sort of thought, like, how do I make this more hellish? And I did a test where I added some flames in the background.
Yeah.
But it got very difficult to get the scale right. Do you know what I mean? Because you really want, like foreground, mid-ground, background. And in the background is where you want a lot of flames. And in the mid-ground, something to give you detail. And then something close up to really sell that that's what that is. And I was like, I'm not super great with particles yet, especially now that the system has changed again a little bit. So I'm either going to have to start looking for particles I can use, right? And I'm just talking you through my thought process. Basically, I was kind of looking around, and I found, let's see, we'll do this graph enable. Okay, on graph enable, starting tokens is 10, right? Pad the string that we use for the tokens, and we should get 10 at the start.
So that just adding that one module let you say that this is the start. Like, we're going to say what happens at the start.
Right. At the start of this graph, I want you to set this number, turn it into a string, pad the string to make sure that it's 6 digits, pad it with 0, and this is the result. Put that result in the label. Okay, now let's.
That was awesome right there. That was a great explanation.
And then, so there's our tokens total. We'll actually take back to 0, right? Because I want it to start at 0. But our starting token is going to be 10. So notice now that it's all 6 zeros here. Let's hit start. Let's start. I hit play. Okay, that did not work.
Did you set it to 0 and not 10?
Boom. You know what I did is, so token starting what I did is what's happening is it's overwriting these. So it should be taking tokens total. Oh, I outsmarted myself. I actually didn't need. Delete this. Actually, I made two variables. I really only need one, right? Because what I would have had to do is then take here. Actually, I'll do this. Add action variable integer set integer, right? And in fact, we'll do that to do it here. So we can actually do a starting token. What I didn't do is what I just added in, which is make starting tokens equal the total, right? And then add variable integer. This is the more careful, explicit way to do this, right? Is that allows me to have two variables in my UScript, in the scoring module that I can tune, right? In fact, did I take this one? Don't make this one public. I don't want this total to be touched by other scripts, right? So I've got tokens total hidden, right? So that I can't fiddle with it from out here, which means that I'm not going to accidentally change the total amount of tokens. Your score is sort of protected, right? But starting tokens is public, so that I can set. Let me say this one more time, so that I can how many you start with, right? So it's 10. How many starting tokens do I have? Okay, let's set our private variable, the one that's just in this graph, is tokens total. How many do I have right now? It's 10. Okay, now let's put this to the label. No. Oh, okay. Wait.
After the click.
Yeah, it did it after the click. Oh, maybe that label's not there. Hold on. I might be calling the wrong event. Let's do. Let me see.
Is graph event what you had?
Yeah, I had it when this graph starts, which I was. It's possible that. Oh, actually, let's do on late graph start. I'm still in play mode. Let me delete this.
Nice day out there today.
I know, it's gorgeous. It's hot out here, though.
Where are you at again?
Agoura Hills, like out in the Post Valley, like on the other side of the valley. Okay, so
where we had breakfast.
Yes, down the street.
I like it over there, though. It's nice.
Oh, bye, Vince. Oh, sorry. Bye, Josh. Busy day. Okay, so this is on when this graph starts, right? Actually, late start means that after it's initialized everything, then it's going to set all of this. This may not work, and part of this is I'm not sure in these starting events which objects are awake at the time that I need them to be, right? So, I don't know what the order is. So the token label might be showing up after I've sent it what text I want it to be. Does that make sense?
Right, which is what's happening now, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Which you want to have it when the game spawns. The game starts.
Yeah,
Right?
there we go.
There you go.
So basically, I was telling it to be something early. Oh, token up,
Yes.
token up.
Token up.
No, I think it was 0 because
Now you gotta do the
the
psychedelic.
token didn't delete itself. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh Jesus! Down to 6 tokens. Oh my! What's gonna happen? Oh, this is. Oh, up,
Oh yeah, got back
down. Oh no! Okay, now.
up.
Yeah. Okay, so there's another reason. Actually, this is perfect reason why I did this. Tokens total action. When we set the string, we want a game over, right? So when tokens total is set to 0, we want to actually do a game over thing, right? So what we can do is actually, this is the one where we've got Satan at the end of setting this string. Let's do this action. Let's check.
Another GUI?
Say what?
Would this be another? I'm sorry, not a GUI, but a UI thing.
Yes, we will actually do that in a second, but we're going to compare the
thought
integers. We're going to take this total, right? We're going to drop it here after we decrement. So after we -2 and update the screen, let's check to see if it's game over, right? So less than or equal to, and I didn't put one in here for this, but let's call this add variable int game over. Don't know why we'd want to do this, but for some reason we may want to touch it at some point. But 0 is the game over condition, right? When that's game over, I'm going to do this the sloppy way right now. GUI global print text. Let's just print text to show text. Add variable string. Okay, this is one of those deceptive nodes. It looks really small, but over here there's a lot of bits and pieces that we can fiddle
Yeah,
with.
the
40.
That's
Yeah.
all text stuff.
Yep. Bold.
That's good that they give you a lot of text. Can you add other fonts and things like that too?
You can. You can. You absolutely can. And we're gonna put this.
Does anything work on it? Do you know?
I think as long as it's a true type font.
Yeah, so TTF. That's
Yep.
great. Obviously, I
Don't-
figured that's pretty standard now.
Yes, but here we go. Name is game text. Value is you suck, and then we'll make this public. Save graph. Okay, this is clearly not the way we're going to ship it, but I want to have the event there so that when we go to polish, I've already got a node ready to go, right? Like I've got a place where I'm going to do that.
So you're gonna play this game to a potential game over right now.
That's correct.
Good luck to you.
Yes, good luck to you. Thanks for your support.
I'm with you, man. I've been with you. I want to see you succeed.
-2,
Oh
plus
gosh,
2?
not a good start.
+2, +2. Here we go. Okay. Some things aren't deleting quite right. I'm gonna have to look at that. We got another Satan. 14. I'm just watching his score since that Satan head won't go away. I mean, look how accusatory he is. He just keeps pointing his finger.
And that one over there didn't go away, huh? Because there's no.
Same with the token. I think I double-clicked on the door, which spawned 2 of them. Although that shouldn't have made a difference. But we'll fix that in the next bit of scoring piece, because this is working, but I still think this is kind of a sloppy way. When we come into polish, I'll actually do like a clearer way to do this. Okay, that's actually, huh?
You have to run.
No, I'm not in any rush. I want to get to the visuals that I was going to do.
I mean, we should definitely clean these up right now, right? We can do that. The coin and the Satan head.
We can, but I want to do that Oh yeah, we can. Let's go straight to visuals after this, and then let's clean up the coins at Satan. You're right. You're
Okay.
right. Okay, so
I
it's
understand, like, so we have a good clean canvas to work on for
Yeah.
the visual.
so it's taken me a long time to get to 0 because the chances are relatively even. So Satan is kind of a dick, and we're going to make the penalty double what you earn, right? So I should lose twice as fast. 10, 6, 2, oh no, you suck.
You got minus, huh?
Yeah, you suck. -2. Well, so I'm actually not doing a game over. I'm just putting up the text so I know that we're at game over, right?
Yep.
But what we could do is add action
That was a pretty quick game there.
level. We'll just I'm not going to explain this one so much because this is kind of a sloppy way to do this. Because like I said, I'm just putting this in there so that we know that the event is being fired, right? So the effect of this is actually instant reset. It's like
Right.
I'm loading level 0, which is the first level, which is the only level, and it will wipe out my score and reset everything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, I need a token. Yeah. Oh. Satan, you're a bastard. You're a right bastard. There we go. And see how I went all back to 10?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
It looks like it's working, but you still can double click it and it'll double up the images, right?
Yeah, and I know actually where to, let's
Because that was a really good run. It looked clean.
Let's fix that. Let's go to the door script. Yeah, I was careful not to double click that time, right? Mouse fit, compare game object. It's me. We're gonna rotate. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert a gate here. So I need to know that I got clicked, which is this one, right? If I got clicked, I only want this message to be sent once. That will 100% clean up our script, right? Because if you don't allow double clicking, right, then none of this will fire again. So what we're going to do is add a condition gate, right? And this gate, if it's the same, go into this gate, auto close in one click. We're going to start open. Okay, let's move all of this. Okay, now let me explain this node. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the gate.
So this is a gate node. Basically, what I'm saying is only let a signal, right, one of these things, come through this amount of times. So this auto close count, right?
Cool.
And then I also want it to notice right here it says start open. It says false. This is a Boolean variable, right? So start open. I need to click this checkbox. So it starts open, true, right? After one time through, close it. So if I double click it, basically the only way that this will fire now is if I click faster than the signal gets to the gate, right? But it should be it should actually run into this gate and say, oh, it's closed, right? This thing is interesting. You can use this to do. Notice that there's an open in socket, there's a close, and a toggle socket, right?
Yeah.
You can basically do toggle this gate open and closed, right? So we can let signals through based on some other event. Does that sort of make sense?
The toggle, yeah, I mean, but you have to match something. You have to match events up to the toggle thing, right? To let them know what
Yes,
toggle.
I would need some sort of
Another node.
event or a node to lead into this to toggle that gate, right?
Totally. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
That's cool.
that's one way to do it. I don't always use this gate because I don't always trust it. Sometimes I just do a Boolean check, right? And then just set my bools.
Can you say that word again?
Boolean?
Or is it a name? What's Boolean? Yeah.
Sorry. A Boolean is a variable type. So Boolean, B-O-O-L-E-A-N, is the type of variable that is true or false. It's basically a binary variable, 0 or 1, right? But it's a natural language way for us to say it's true or false. So it's the same as yes or no, but it's called a Boolean because there's only two states. There's yes or no, or it doesn't exist. Actually, there's 3. But
it sounds like that gate doesn't seem like the worst way to do it.
No, it works. It's just not the most manipulative way to do it.
I get you. Yeah, it's pretty rigid.
It can be rigid. Okay, so I'm double clicking like mad.
That's great. Whoa. When you click on the coin or the...
Yeah, so I think what's happening... Yeah, so things are getting scaled somewhere in here when they get...
So interesting to see how this stuff...
Can get screwed up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just kind of like... You just got to keep playing it, right? Like,
yeah. So this is one of those cases where, like, I think something. So this is where I'm setting my scale, right? But somehow this is firing multiple times. I think.
Or it's attached to all the prefabs as opposed to just the doors. Isn't that what that says up there to the north?
Yeah.
So couldn't we make the spawn prefab just be the doors that it reacts to, as opposed to the...
No, because so what we're doing is using the door as the location to spawn the reward. Right?
Right.
So this is attached to the door. Each door has their own door component. Right, which is this script, so it's generic for every door. Right, when that door gets clicked, it's executing all of this. I wonder. Here, let's try this.
Coin is up in the front there.
You know what happened? Okay. Okay, we can fix this too. Okay, see where my mouse cursor is?
Yeah.
I'm actually watch this. I'm going to slow this down. Door speed is 2 seconds, right?
Cool.
All right, watch. I am going to.
So in each time that you can only have it work on one door, so you need to add another 8?
Yeah, did you see I clicked 2 doors?
Yeah, because while it's still on the screen, you can click the next door.
Right. So, what I need to do is when one door is clicked, tell the other doors to not click.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, So let's go in and look at that.
I think the tokens need to go down by 1. Not 2, because that makes it for a quick game, potentially.
It does, and I think, I'll reset it back to 2 at some point. I think 1 is maybe too generous.
But you get 10, you get at minimum 10 tries, and it's fast game. 10 seconds is really the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, but we want, okay. Let's hold off tuning that variable because we're missing the next piece, right? Is like there's a visual piece that we need to add, and we also need to add the most frustrating, angry part, which is the ads that go over your score screen. And when those banner ads show up, they will add a level of frustration that will determine how many tokens we want you to spend to get rid of them.
You're thinking about it in the finish. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. So right now, the decrement of -2 is basically
5 ads.
Well, it's stand-in, right? Because the -2 tokens isn't going to happen when Satan appears. He'll appear and throw an ad up on screen, and then the player has to choose to spend money to get rid of the ad, right? So we can do that in a bunch of ways, but that price or the cost of tokens to spend on the ad is tunable, right? So that'll be like, okay, I gain them one at a time, and I can spend one at a time to get rid of them. Seems kind of fair, but it's Satan. We want it to be unfair, right? So we want it to be something like a variable of like, I don't know, 2 to 1. You're pretty lucky if you get past like, you know, a score of like 10 to 15 or something, right? So basically you're like, you've got whatever. We can tune that to say like how many negative doors do we want the player to play through at minimum, and that might be 3 doors or 10 or 30, and then we can adjust all of those numbers till it feels kind of right. But I think you're right. We want something like, I don't know, 10 seconds of gameplay, 20 seconds of gameplay initially. And I think if we really want to get there, we want to get to that Angry Bird level of frustration where like you're like, oh! And then it starts over, right?
Yeah, Flappy Bird.
Whatever. Yeah, Flappy Bird.
That's the annoying one.
Crappy Bird. Which exists. Somebody made Crappy Bird. Okay, so basically, to get to that next point, let's go back to this. Duplicate this. Okay, what did we do today? We did episode. Let's just call this Storm Continued. I'm just going to keep notes of what we did. So this is different than what I've been doing in keynotes, which is like predicting what we're going to do that day. I'm actually just going to capture what we just talked about, so that I can come back and even look at it. Added game over. Added temp. Penalty. Let's see. Sending multiple messages works, but sloppy. All right, that's still. I still want to fix that at some point, but we're like, I think I want to go to something a little bit more interesting with some visuals to sort of round out our day. Well, actually, so how much more time do you have?
I got time.
Okay, just because I mean I have to take a bio break.
I want to get this to the level where we can immediately jump into visuals next week.
Okay, so let's do,
or maybe touch on it today.
Let's do one thing as far as visuals go, because I think this will set the tone for next week. All right. Yeah. So I was telling you earlier that I was going through the asset store, right?
Yeah. I wanted to see this.
Looking for fire effects. Actually, I'm going to do this in.
Looks like that Houdini has some pretty cool fire effects, according to their site.
Houdini's pretty neat. Let's go here. I'm going to do this in Chrome because it's easier to sort of navigate stuff. But actually, we could go down here to particle systems, right? And in the fire category, it's like, oh, wow, there's all kinds of good stuff. But I'm a cheap bastard, so let's sort by price. Okay, explosion, realistic fire. Let's look at this one.
Oh, those are free. Those explosion packs. You can do a lot with those, I'm sure.
Well, this is a $2 pack.
Oh.
The one thing you sort of have to do those. I know a little bit about the particle systems. Actually, let's look at the last time this was updated. This may not even be the Shuriken system. Right? Oh, March 2, 2015. Oh, okay, so he updated it recently. But let's go look at a video of it. Right, so buyer beware on everything in the store. Right, if it's $2, it may be worth $2, right? But it may be only worth $2. Let's go back to our fire thing. That seems a little too real to me, and I was kind of looking for like a toony fire. Right, but this looks like it might be a little too toony. I don't know. That's not bad.
It's pretty dope, man.
That's kind of sweet. It's $5. Let's try the web demo. Let's look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably opening myself up to sort of to Russian hackers, but
not really.
Well, it's got a .ru, but you know.
Oh, I see.
There's basic fire, smoke. He's rotating it. Okay, that's nice. Oh, actually, he's not rotating. He's moving it. It is rotating. Okay. There's smoke on there. Wall of fire. Oh, that's nice.
Cool.
Wall of fire with smoke. Floor of fire. It's a
Great.
It's a square. Small torch fire. Okay, I actually am going to come back to look at this again. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to close that. I'm going to add this to my wish list because I think there might be something interesting there. Although I look at it, and like I said, knowing a little bit about what's going on in the particle packs, there's not a lot, like a huge amount of value there, because I could probably do something similar to this on my own, right? So this is the comparison I'm making. It's not just, is the asset worth it? Is it, well, how much time is it actually going to save me? Because that's what the asset store is really about, right? Is it going to save me time? Is this something that I could do either better on my own or faster, right? And this particular asset for $5 is actually pretty awesome, right? But
looks like it.
But I wanted to get to this is how I found something else that we're going to try instead of that, because the problem I ended up running into, and let's look at my own asset store list. Tune Fire Collection, and I spent $5 on this one. Let's do that again. Okay, let's download this.
So these guys are making this in a particle system called Shuriken. That's what you said.
Yes, that's what their internal system is called. It may not be called that anymore since it went to Unity 5. Okay, I'm being sloppy. I'm just going to bring it all in, which is going to bloat my project. Yep, that's fine. Let's see if it works. They may not have updated their particles since the Unity 5 update, right? That's basically what it was telling me. Alright, let's see. We're going to save this scene and go to the Tune Particles folder. Let's look at their scenes. Oh. There's their collection scene. Let's see. Hit play. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fires, some explosions, right?
I mean, you could do some really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, there's some neat stuff going on here. So one of the nice things about this is I brought it in. We can look at it and look at how they made it, essentially, right? Like,
Yeah.
like you can sort of deconstruct it. Like, okay, well, what's this piece? And like, why does this thing have multiple bits on it? Oh, it's got this and it's got smoke. So that's why it has a drop down.
Yeah.
Right? Now
you can manipulate. You can make that green fire if you wanted to. You wanted to shift color on it or tint or right because you have all those controls.
yes. So
That's awesome. That ball is awesome.
that ball is kind of awesome.
It's kind of like subdued, you know. Maybe that should be the coin for gold fire coins.
Let's go look at it in the editor. Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of sweet.
That's
All right.
awesome, man.
Let's keep that in mind. Okay.
So all that stuff was $5.
Yeah, all of these assets were $5. Now you know what's
Sounds
cool about
worth
this?
$5.
Say what?
That sounds totally worth $5.
Oh, that one's pretty rad too.
Yeah. It's Nova.
Right? Let's go look at that one. Okay. What about this one?
Find little impact hits for
Yeah. Oh, it's not so bad either.
campfire. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I like a lot of these effects. So
Yeah, they're really awesome.
I'm actually gonna go back to the asset store, and I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. So in my travels and adventures through the asset store, I was looking at that and I said, you know what? I just need something in the background though, because I don't have like a skybox, right? Like what's the actual container for the scene, right? So let me do this. Let's go back to my main scene, my test scene, right? And we're going to where's this? Okay. There's our door. There's our camera. Right? Where's it? Wait, actually, hold on. Where's our camera? World Center. Let's go into the World Center. And let's go to this Tune Particle Pack. Look under the prefabs folder. And then let's grab let's grab one of these, right? And I'll grab it. I'll drag it to the world center. We'll make it 0, 0, 0, right?
Awesome, man.
And then drag it out here. I'm going to do this in a very sloppy way.
Duplicate it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I mean, what do you do? Can you make like a repeating? Would that be a script?
Well, at that size, I may want to do something like one big effect, right? That covers the whole screen, or not covers the whole screen, but it's cheaper because I can sort of like make one more efficient.
This is totally rad, by the way, what you're doing.
Let's do one more. Okay. This is going to impact performance, but I'm gonna do it this way.
Just to get a good look at what it looks like.
Yep. So this is actually going to kind of look like shit. Let's do. I'm selecting a canvas. Hold on. Okay, this one.
Trying to get that third one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see which ones are which.
Yeah, that's the worst, right? That's when you think you're saving time by duplicating a bunch, but you don't name them, like which one's which. You have no idea.
You have no idea how to necessarily get to them. But I did create them in order. So the first 4 will be on the left side. Next 4 are sort of ass backwards. But this
that gets kind of crazy now.
These 4 actually. The last ones that get created.
Look at that! When you move it, it shows you what the
trail was. Yeah, because there's a setting for that. Like some of them. There we
go. What an improvement, dude! Even just a little bit.
Right. So, but I was like, okay, well that's cool. But now I still have this crazy. There's no background, right? So I still was like, all right, I got to come up with something. Huh?
Can I suggest something?
Sure.
Just take 4 of those plasma balls.
Yep.
And duplicate them. One in a line. Yeah, preferably. Yeah, maybe the first 4 because that makes it easy. Okay. Yep. Duplicate those, and then take that as an entire unit and place them in front of the camera.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Hold on. So let's do that. Rotate global. See if that works. Okay, that's not going to work. So what's interesting about that is like particle systems have slightly different properties. You can't really treat them like regular game objects. But what I can do is this. Create an empty foreground fire.
Yeah, so they call those null objects in After Effects. The game, it's just an invisible object you can use to control movement, right?
Right. So I basically just created a handle, right?
Yeah, so you parent it to that, and yeah, it's awesome.
Right, and then snap. So this will help with our.
Let's see what that looks like.
Foreground.
We're gonna have to put them together even closer.
Yeah, I lost one in.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not updating the gizmo here on screen, so I think they're there. Okay.
Let's see, I mean, we're already getting now some. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, and then what we'll do is move this in, right? And then I could probably, and then here I'm going to do the piece of this that makes it. Part of why you don't do exactly this is your fill rate starts to jump. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, we will like on mobile. This will work, right?
So dope.
But it'll be we're going to start hitting performance issues, right?
Totally.
But this works in.
This gives us a nice example.
It does give us a nice example. Hold on, let me set this up this way. We'll drop it down just a little bit. Okay, that'll work. Now we're still.
That's dope.
Actually,
man.
that's kind of sweet.
That's super dope. Wait a second. Can we just try one more thing then?
Yeah.
What if we just did the background as or the ground as black?
Hold on. So the ground plane is black, or just delete it?
Yeah, just the plane. Just make it as black right now instead of the white.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this back into the foreground. Default. This color. Mother. Come on. Give it to me. Oh, I don't have actual. Wait, where's the actual material? Hold on. Oh, it's the default one. Hold on. Let me go to materials. Let's grab one.
Those are all textures?
Those are all materials. So
based on objects?
Yeah, so let's see. Let's call it ground.
What if the ground was like black glass?
Yeah, we can do that.
Just with a slight shimmer?
We could absolutely do that. So let's do this first. I'm going to assign this.
That's your spelling in ground is just make sure you're consistent.
It's ground.
It's on the ground.
Yo, y'all, it's on the ground. Not
just know that the consistency of the spelling and that stuff is nuts.
Yep. Let's see, so plain, now it's ground black. Okay, now that it's not a default material, I should be able to fiddle with it. Let's select it. Go back up here to this color.
Sweet.
Black. There we go. Okay, so our background's kind of red, so we can see it, right? Because you can see where all that stuff is. Okay, now we've still got the sort of background issue. So let me get to. Let me add in this little piece that I got going on here.
Cool.
I think you'll dig this. Okay.
8-bit retro rampage. What is that? That was free.
Oh, it was sounds.
Awesome.
Sounds. So, watch this craziness. I actually pulled this in. Let's hope this works. Oof. We're playing with fire here. I'm running the fast and lazy way by just pulling stuff in. I haven't verified that this works yet, so let's look at. Shut this down. Pull this up a little bit so I can see. Okay, lazy clouds. Okay, what we're going to do is create a, 3D object. We're going to make a sphere. We're going to make it about, let's see, 0 for now. We're going to set the scale to about 1000. Okay, material, C. No, come on. Oh, wait, that's a physics material. Hold on. Default material. Clouds. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it all went black. No, that's good. Let me put the lazy cloud script now on this sphere. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Dude.
Off over here, you can kind of see there's a little bit of discoloring. What that is like my light is in a place that
Can we move it in a little bit?
we can. Hold on.
Because this is like straight out of like a movie kind of thing here.
Yeah, it's let's see. Well, watch this. I will change the directional light in here, and it should change
Yes.
some of this look. And what happened? Let me see. Where's my cloud? All these clouds. Is I may have, yeah. See how where it is back there?
Mm-hmm.
It's because that one side is picking up all the light from the lighting, right? So what I want to do is get that
That was so awesome right there.
sort of on camera. Let's pull this. And then, I'll do it this way. Watch this. What I really want to do is actually flip the normals on this sphere, right? To be, so you're looking at the inside of it, because I want the inner curve, right? Not the outer curve. But let's see what this looks like out here. We'll see. You should see that this is shifting slowly. This is one. Let's do this as 2. Moving faster. Cloud scale. Let's go to 2. Try 10, 20. As I remember, it didn't really start looking good until I got about 30. Cloud scattering. Let's call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Cloud intensity. It's a little better. Cloud sharpness. I think because of the speed that we're at in the scale. There we go. See the clouds moving across the surface?
Yeah.
That's where we want to get to.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Okay, cloud color. XYZ is RGB, so let's leave it at 1. This is a ratio, so you don't have to do like 256 color values, right?
Yeah. Why don't they just call it RGB?
I don't know. I think because they're probably using a vector here, like a vector variable, which is default to XYZ, instead of actually doing like a graphics thing and calling it RGB. So
that's pretty tough because you'd have to keep messing around to find like the shifts, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's sort of gonna always be RGB left or right on these XYZs. I just sort of assumed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, it's sort of pinkish. Let's just go back to like hit you over the head red, right? Now let's do the time scale. Faster is better. Bigger is faster. Okay, I thought it was the other way. There we go. So now imagine this with normals flipped, right? And let's see, there we go. And the light in the right place. Cloud intensity.
It's like Dune.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's go back down. The thickness is not going to be super noticeable at. Okay. Distance scale is not really given as much because they're dealing with such long distances, right? That it's not doing a whole lot of that. So anyway, I'm going to take this into. Let's 70. Hold on, I'm going to write these down in case I lose these values because I'm in play mode right now. Right. There we go. Okay. So I just showed you a little shortcut, and basically, I was in play mode to sort of tune this thing, right? And the these values would have gotten wiped out, right? And in fact, they did when I turned off play mode. So what I did is I actually copied this component. Here's my little workaround. Copied it. I deleted the old component, which lost all my values, and then pasted the component back in. Right? Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. So watch this. I'll go to play mode. I'll just replicate it one more time. So we're in play mode, right? I remember I was saying that sometimes it doesn't save your values when you dick around with it in play mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually kind of like that a little bit better anyway. So let's just call this 5. Right? Now watch. I only changed one. It's not going to make that big of a difference, but I'll turn off play mode, and it went back to its original value, right? So you're like, oh man, well how am I going to tune this stuff, right? I want this to be at like, well, we'll call it 4. What I did was actually copied this component in play mode, went back to here, right? Removed the component, and then, paste component is new, and it came in with the values I wanted.
Cool.
Right? So basically, it's a little workaround to get through that.
Yeah, no, that's very helpful.
Right? Instead of writing down 10 values on paper and then inputting them by hand, it saves me some time. Now we're getting somewhere, right? It's a little crazy, but we're getting there. Hold on, now let's take this directional light. Let's go back to. Okay. And now we have like a weird portal thing that we're headed for, right? One thing about this now is you'll notice that my doors are super brightly lit. I'll probably have to do something like light only this background object with one light and then do the doors with a different light. But we'll do that next time.
Yeah, is that from the new light placement?
Yeah, I changed the light rotation so that it was so it turned the clouds into like a solid over here, right? But you know what we can do? What's this shit?
That's insane now, dude.
I know, isn't that kind of cool?
It's a completely different product. Whoa. Jesus.
Oh, actually we'll do this as like, take the Y up a little bit more. I just want it outside the camera, right? So there we go. Yeah, so now what we can do with our doors actually is turn off. We'll fiddle with the doors, but now basically we've got a light that's over bright, right?
Yeah.
And so what we can do is we'll have to do like 2 different lights, right? One on the doors, or have the doors unlit, and then the other one says, let's see this.
Bottom lit may be a little more dramatic for this.
Yeah, what we can do though is something a little less.
The door material seems to be quite. It takes to the light quite a bit.
Yeah, but I'll add. We can fiddle with the shader, right, a little bit to give it some. Give it a little bit of shine.
Contrasty.
Yep. Me and my perfect numbers. So.
Can you then copy that over to the other doors, or is it you doing that for all of them?
I was just playing with it. I'm gonna have to do that for all the doors, I think. What is it?
Oh, I thought you could just
28.5
control.
Yeah, let's go into here. Let's grab our doors. In fact, what we can do is did it save that for every door? Yeah, standard. We'll go to this one. into standard, into confetti. What was it? What did I say? 0.8 and what? Oh wait, this was. Actually, this might just do. Let's see how this looks. Okay, that's not terrible. Wow. That's okay. That'll get us there for now.
Dude, I think that looks awesome.
Right. Oh, our coin is fucked up. That's okay. We'll get there.
What's wrong with the coin?
Watch it. It's like it's overlit. Oh, I got a lot of Satans. See how? Did you see how bright it was? But that's not even our finished coin anyway. So like we're gonna want something else. Although I do have some text readability issues now that the background is so red.
Yes. Red on red.
Right. So let's open up our canvas. Text. Yes. I'm just gonna set it to white for now.
Yeah.
In fact, where is the... We'll set all of these to white. Okay. Here we go. Do you still like the black ground plane?
I do. I maybe if it was just a little bit on the charcoal side.
Yeah.
Wow. See, can you take it out for a second?
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe with better placement of the plasma balls.
Yeah, the plasma balls will help. Okay. Let's make the ground a little bit more metallic.
I mean, in my opinion, I think you should be just floating in fire and have them kind of like in a little wiggle, as if they're just kind of levitating.
Metallic 0 on that. Oh, you know what? It's also being lit from one direction. Yeah, let's stick with the ground later. I think what we want to get is a more sort of set look for everything else, because there's so many variables to mess around with in here already. Do you know what I mean? As far as like how the fire looks, how the background looks, etc. The ground I'm not super worried about, but I want it to match, because we've kind of gone into this really abstract look. You know what I mean? Of like, holy shit, what is that craziness? Oh, you're freaking, you're fucking with me, Satan. Oh, you suck. And like I want to make the ground plane match what's going on there, and I want it to have the right feel, right? I want the ground plane to feel like you're in a really crazy, well, you know, you're in hell, right? Nothing. Okay, nothing still feels bad because you get nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
But nothing's. What is nothing?
It's nothing. You get nothing there. So what I might do is actually do
2 ads and a coin.
Oh, you're wicked. I think though, what I was gonna go for was like having the 30% chance that you get nothing is your score still goes up, right? So what we can do is celebrate the score more. So there's like score, and it like
I wouldn't call it nothing. I'd call it like pass. Or,
yeah.
Actual reward.
We'll call it pass. All right, later, Vince. It's just you and me now. This is actually a good place for me to stop mentally anyway. So like, it's a little ugly.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
all the pieces are starting to show up, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at. You know what I'm going to do? This is going to help us quite a bit. Because the intensity is at 3. There we go. The lights may be a little too intense. This will help us some. Okay, yeah, that's passable. I was blowing it all out before because all I had was doors, right?
Yeah.
So now it's not so blown out. There we go. We're getting a lot closer, right? Now you got to figure what this is probably episode 4 or 5 of Three Doors.
5, I think. But yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because I've done 3 dumpster babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in somewhere between 5 to 10 hours, we've gotten a significant amount of this game done, right? But it also gives you a good feeling for like the scale of time that you need to build stuff.
Oh, totally.
Right? I think I could have maybe gone faster in some ways, but I would have been slower in others because I think it would have been a little harder to get. Actually, that first episode, there's 2 hours, 3 minutes. I mean, we're probably running at about 6 hours now, right?
Yeah.
To get this far.
No, more than that.
I could have done this faster if I scripted it out ahead of time and said, like, okay, I'm going to build X, Y, and Z and do blah, 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 blah. But I think talking through it has not only helped me help you, right? But it's also, I think, made our decisions very clear, right? About like what goes in, what doesn't go in, you know, what are the considerations. Oh man, sound is gonna really make this sing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picturing right now just like you know, obviously like the atmospheric sounds going on, but also like random screams.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like just hell.
Ah! Right.
The Wilhelm scream.
Yep, that, and then every once in a while, like you hear like, "Well, why are you poking me? Stop poking me with that stick," or something like that, right? Like there's like, I you know, this what's going to end up would be really neat about this app is it's a really simple construction, but the amount of polish that we can put into everything else is going to actually bloat it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, because sounds take up a lot of space, and so do animations, and we're gonna polish the hell out of it. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. All right, dude, I'm gonna jet. I really need to use the bathroom. And it's a great place to stop. So next week, let's go open the PowerPoint. Let me duplicate this. Go back to here. So we added temp effects. Lights. Light. Okay, and then next week we're going to start doing. What do you want to do next week? Visual polish, sound.
Visual polish. I let's just get that down, and then we can. I think the visuals are going to inform what the audio is going to be.
Okay, so I'm going to fill this in what we're going to do next week when we start, but I think it's going to be something like, let's start with that background. Actually, the background's fine. We'll just chip away at it next week as we go. But I have a feeling I need to fix those effects, and we need to kind of stick in like a color palette. But we should do some logic around the doors changing colors, right? Like maybe they start brown first, all of them, and then we go in to change their colors to show progression, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And then we could also do some more UI stuff. Like we need to start like a final score and restart button kind of a thing. So I like let's definitely talk about like graphics and UI next week.
Cool.
Right? Because like right now we have like a nice core piece of the game, but we're pretty long ways from being able to put it on a phone.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for tuning in.
I think it was a good fun episode.
Yeah.
Let's do it next week.
Yeah. Can't wait.
All right.
Exciting stuff. All right, dude.
Got it. We're all good. See ya.
Yep. Later.